Good evening, my name is April Ziegler, and I am posting my fourth discussion board post thread for History 530, American Christian Heritage. And I'd like to start off by saying that I believe in a biblical principle in the study of history, and the commitment to objectivity and honesty is essential to historical investigation. That is Proverbs 12:19. I am talking tonight about 21st century heretics, and this issue was of interest to me because while we were studying the fundamental modernist controversy of the 19th century, I kept thinking back to, that this story with the Presbyterians and the heresy trials remind me of something that happened not too long ago here, currently, in 2000. And I started to do some research and recall the story of the Pentecostal minister or bishop Carlton Pearson. And Carlton Pearson is a fascinating story about a Pentecostal minister who rose through the ranks to become one of the biggest televangelists in the country. And he was mentored and taught by Oral Roberts, a great televangelist and healer. And Carlton Pearson rose to high levels in the ministry in Pentecostal church. He had thousands of acres, 30 acres of churches and property, millions of dollars in equity. He had thousands of parishioners. And he was served on the board of regents at the Oral Roberts University, where he was taught. And Pentecostal message is mainly, live a right life, love God, but you are saved through your salvation and accepting Christ. And Pentecostal message definitely teaches a doctrine of saving yourself and how not to be caught by the devil, and not to live by the influences of the devil, and how to avoid hell. Well, one day Pearson was watching the struggles of people living in Rwanda, and he saw these children that were hungry and homeless, and he thought to himself, how could God not accept these people into heaven, despite the fact that they did not accept Christ as their Savior? They weren't, quote unquote, saved. And then he started to, he had an epiphany that, there is no place called hell as what we believe in the Bible, that in fact hell is actually right here on earth, and what we're living on now is hell. And when we die, when everybody dies, they go to heaven, regardless if they have accepted Christ in their life, regardless if they are non-believers, that hell does not exist. Everyone is saved. And then he called this the gospel of inclusion. And so, long story short, his Pentecostal ministers, including Oral Roberts, who looked at Carlton as a son, started to distance themselves from him. And in 2003, Pearson went before a joint college of African American Pentecostal bishops to defend his theology, and they, in 2004, decided to defrock him, and they labeled him a heretic. And he lost his church, he lost his everything. He lost his parishioners, he lost his reputation. He was removed from the Board of Regents for Oral Roberts University. He was labeled a heretic, and his marriage and home and everything and was in jeopardy. But it just made me realize just how serious fundamental beliefs are. You can vary in your message, but you can't vary in the fundamental beliefs of in a denominational's message and theology. And Carlton Pearson, although highly respected and highly regarded, did that, and it cost him everything. And it just it made me think, heresy is still being proclaimed today. If you go against your fundamental beliefs, that fundamental modernist belief is still very much alive today, or that controversy is very much alive today, and it's just very fascinating. So I encourage anybody who wants to learn more to read about it. And I enjoyed this class, and I wish everyone well in the future.